rare mortals. You're entering the eerie depths of Chokeslam Radio, where expert insider WWE knowledge and secrets are unleashed with thunderous power.
Rest in peace.
Coming to you live straight from the heart of Death Valley. Here are your mysterious hosts, DRW15 and DJ Big Unknown.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Chokeslam Radio, brought to you by UGOAS headphones, premium gaming headphones. As always, my name is DJ Big Unknown.
And I'm your co-host, DRW15. We apologize right now for the you're streaming on TikTok last episode, and I think there were a bit of technical difficulties, but we had one of our assistants look into it, and I think it should be all figured out and good to go. So that's very exciting. Hello, everyone on TikTok, and yeah, excited to get into this week's episode.
Yeah, shout out to the dev team for getting that issue fixed. Shouldn't have happened in the first place, but you know what? That's part of wrestling is, it's live. There's going to be mistakes like that, and, you have to adapt on the fly.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the difference between Chokeslam Radio and, the guys in the actual WWE. Because, we see a problem one week and the next week it's fixed. Whereas, we've been watching Raw week after week and calling out the issues that we see on that show. And, there are some things that still aren't fixed. And we saw it with the hackers. And, we continue to see it with other things every week. So it's frustrating. But, we've got the best in the biz here at Chokeslam Radio. So, this week we're all good to go. And we do it for us and we do it for you guys. And we just wish the WWE acted the same.
Yeah, one guy that we've been really critical of, Adam Pearce, he's kind of just like got his head shoved up his ass all the time, and then he goes on Instagram telling everybody how they should live their life. And it's a little bit frustrating to have a guy who's, such a ass hole, doesn't really know what the hell he's talking about, and I honestly can't stand him. And I know we do have a lot of videos of his to watch today, because this guy doesn't stop yapping, as they say.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. We rip on this guy week after week, and then it shouldn't be the case where we've got all these videos of his to react on our show. You'd hope that we'd come on one week and be like, actually, like he took a week off of social media and the show was better. But, week after week, it's the same story with this ASS hole, and it's frustrating. But, we'll do a deep dive into some of his content this week. And as we've done in the past, we're critical of him, but that's because we care about the show. And we see the potential with the fighters, and we just wish that, upstairs they did a little bit better.
Yeah, well, I guess I honestly kind of want to procrastinate watching these videos, but if you want to get into it now, we could while we're on the topic. But, I guess it would make more sense to save the big news for towards the end of the show, if you want to watch those right now.
Yeah, we're on the topic, but I also like to start the show off on kind of like a high note. It's kind of sucks to kick the show off and start talking about, the worst part of WWE right off the bat. So,
Yeah, I kind of agree about what DRW15 has to say on that matter. So I think we should definitely get the show started on a positive note rather than talking about all the shenanigans going on with Adam Pearce. And, a lot of people have been saying we're kind of negative towards what's going on in the WWE. Shout out to Joel Lee, who just joined the stream. Welcome. But as I was saying, is that there's a lot of great things going on in the WWE as well. So let's get this show off on a positive start instead of just going into all the negative things right off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And there's a lot of stuff going on outside the WWE, but in the fighting and the wrestling universe too. And here at Chokeslam Radio, we cover the WWE first, but it's all things wrestling, all things fighting, and a lot of those things are related too. And it's been a big week in the fighting world as well. So we'll do a deep dive into all of those things. So stay tuned. Shout out Hendrik in the YouTube chat. Appreciate the comment. And yeah, the shades are a weekly thing. We try to break out new shades every week. We're looking for some sponsorships from some sunglasses companies. So if you know any or have any suggestions, leave them in the comment and we'll reach out to them.
Yeah, and shout out to AL2NFE4IX. We love every one of our fans. So yeah. What were we talking about? Yeah, and you know what? Somebody who doesn't need glasses, um, is Solo Sokoa because
Mm-hmm.
he can see who a real fighter is even without, you know,
Mm-hmm.
prescription eyewear. Um, Basically, this new bloodline, they're going up against the OG bloodline. Shout out to Barrera family. Hello. Um, anyways, uh, oh, I think is that Tiffany Stratton
Tiffy
just
time.
joined?
Tiffy times in our
Wow,
TikTok chat. That's exciting.
I know. Um, anyways, yeah, so this new bloodline, they had to find somebody to join. I was thinking they would go straight to the bloodline family tree and kind of work their way down that to find somebody. But you know what? You don't always have to get someone in your immediate family to be part of the family. Kind of like how on Chokeslam Radio, we consider all our analysts a family, even though, we're not related. So, um, basically, what are your thoughts on them getting Bronson Reed?
Yeah. Shout out Hi in the chat. Hello, Hi. Um, Thank you for the sub. And Barrera family again, just killing it. But yeah, boom. But yeah, I agree. I think Solo's done a great job. I was a little unsure of him as the leader of the bloodline when Roman was out, but I think he's killing it. He brought in members of the bloodline that he thought would do well, and those guys are killing it. And and now he's and now he's recruiting guys in the WWE, one of the biggest beasts in the WWE right now. So this guy knows what he's doing. He's not joking around. And we saw Roman trying to get a hold of who we think it was the Wise Man, but his phone was disabled, it seemed like, and I wouldn't be surprised if Solo had something to do with that. There we go.
Yeah,
DJ Big
Roman Reigns, somebody that, he was always on the phone with, even when he wasn't in the WWE doing other tribal chief things. He always had the Wise Man on speed dial. And now it's not that he didn't answer. If Wise Man didn't answer, that would have been weird. But his phone number was gone, which is even a little more concerning. So, it's quite possible that maybe he tried to get off the grid after he got thrown through that table. He said, you know what? I have to get away from all these people. And, uh, you know, maybe he's hiding out somewhere in Mexico, managing, one of the luchadors or something right now. Who knows where he is? But I know that, you know, Roman Reigns is definitely, missing his wise man right now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And as we've kind of alluded to, there's a lot of up and coming wrestlers in the universe right now, not just the WWE universe, but you know, our boy Hoopify, if you remember him from a couple episodes ago, he's active in the recruiting game. So you have to assume that the wise man is also out there active and, scouting for the next great talent, you know. Um, so wherever he is, I'm sure he's involved in the wrestling universe, and maybe he had to get a new phone because we saw with The Rock at WrestleMania, you get attacked by the Undertaker, you kind of have to go into hiding and escape the WWE
Hmm.
for a little bit. Wise Man didn't it seemed like he didn't know when Roman was coming back. He got attacked by Solo and company, so I don't blame him for going off the grid and hiding. But I think he still watches WWE, and we've talked about it. I think he's waiting for the right time to come back and strike. Um, so he probably disabled his phone for a reason. Wiseman obviously knows what he's doing, but I think it's hard on Roman right now because that's his boy, and when you try to hit him up and the phone goes straight to voicemail, that's not a good feeling.
I know, yeah, that's pretty scary. We have a comment coming in from Hendrik Bussy. Let me know if I pronounced that wrong. I don't know. But Roman Reigns was also in his first or second year back then. Okay, so this is when we have a OG WWE fan here. He's been watching ever since, Roman Reigns was brand new, and it's crazy how far, someone like that could go from a rookie to the tribal chief. Um, and it just kind of shows you how uh maybe one of these guys that we don't take very seriously, who's a rookie right now, like Braun Breaker or even Tiffany Stratton, they could eventually become the next Roman Reigns, and they probably will be. But you never know. It could be somebody coming up next year as well that we haven't even seen yet. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it could be someone like Big AJ. Um, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean I've seen clips of Roman when he was like first starting the WWE, and he was like always a decent fighter, but like his skills on the mic were pretty rough. He was not doing so well in the promos, and someone like Big AJ's already got the mic stuff figured out. He brings the boom. He's big, he's scary, and he's got his little squad with him. So I think Big AJ's got all the tools that someone might need to be successful in the WWE, like Roman Reigns. Maybe even more so than Roman Reigns when he started out. But that's a lot.
Mhm. Exactly. Absolutely insane. It also shows how old I am, meanwhile. And yeah, my name is kind of wrong, but I don't know how to explain the correct pronunciation since I'm German. Hey, that's all right. Shout out to Germany. Shout out to our German fans. It doesn't really matter how to pronounce the name as long as the respect is there. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I always say you can pronounce my name however you want, as long as you're, being a good dude. Um, but anyways, um, shoot, I lost my train of thought. Um, oh, somebody who is also kind of an old man is Mike Tyson, who was in a really big fight this weekend or last weekend against this YouTuber named Jake Paul. He's also a former rapper, um, and the brother of Logan Paul, the WWE legend. And a lot of people were not very impressed by this fight.
Yeah, I mean it was a tough one. Um, I mean you're always taking a risk when you're fighting against the brother of the person who created Prime. Because Prime is just an elite energy drink. So I'm sure Logan had and Jake had Prime running through their veins. Leading up to that fight, and Mike Tyson's an old guy, as we talked about, so he probably doesn't know a whole lot about Prime or the benefits. Um, they had different drinks back in the day, but now that there's stuff like Prime out there on the market, you know, I'm sure Mike wasn't drinking that, and that's why he looked a bit old
Mm.
in the ring, unfortunately. But that's That's the difference between an elite athlete and an elite athlete who drinks Prime, and I think it was pretty clear.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, Mike Tyson's out of his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Jake shouldn't have even tried to fight him." Then why did, first of all, then why did you watch the match? That's not a very good excuse. This wouldn't have sold millions and millions of dollars, probably more than that, if it wasn't a fair fight. Um, you know, just because you're old doesn't mean that that's not an excuse to not be hydrated. Um, just because he might not have the same strength and agility that he did all those years ago, that's not really an excuse because we have new hydration technology such as Prime, and I'm just saying Prime as an example, but there's other things like liquid IV and stuff like that. It doesn't really do the same, but it just shows you how that's not really an excuse nowadays of just being old. There's a lot of old guys that are out there whooping ass still, you know? Look at Rey Mysterio. He's a pretty old guy. He's getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
And um yeah, it kind of shows you how like these guys in the WWE are able to fight a lot longer and then not bring out the old guy excuse. Probably because WWE takes hydration seriously and their sponsors seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's some comments saying that the fight was staged. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I think at times it looked like Jake could have knocked Mike Tyson on his ASS and ended that fight. But, you know, at the end of the day, these are two men in the ring competing for their lives. And Mike Tyson, as old as he was, is still a pretty scary MRFer. And I wouldn't want to throw too many punches at that dude if I didn't have to. I think Jake was winning the fight and played it smart. Because all it takes is one missed fight and Mike Tyson to land a punch
Hmm.
across your face. You're done. Doesn't matter how much prime you've got in your system. So I think
Yeah.
Jake fought well. Maybe it was staged and they agreed, let's not knock each other out. But regardless, pretty impressive that Jake Paul was able to stand in there with one of the greatest boxers of all time and
Yeah.
survive. And that just goes to show, we've seen his brother, one of the best WWE athletes in the world, the United States champion. So I think it makes sense. I wasn't shocked by the result.
I agree. I just wanted to shout out my boy Reggie in the chat. Says he, you know, spent all night watching it and then he was tired and pissed and being a D word at work. But
Mm.
um, you know, I I kind of would agree. I mean, not I basically had a lot of money on the game and I had a lot of drinks at the bar while watching it, and I was exhausted the next morning. But I mean, that's kind of on me for that one. But I agree. I was there with you the next morning.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of us were, and a lot of people didn't bet on Jake Paul, and they might have even bet on Mike Tyson. So that's obviously tough. But when you really break it down and look at what these guys are putting in their bodies, um, I think it made sense, the ending. But it was still not the most exciting fight to watch. Um, and that happens in the WWE sometimes too. We get a lot of the damage control matches where at a certain
Yeah,
point it's like why am I even sitting here watching this? But when it's the main event and it's been hyped up for weeks and months, it's a little frustrating when it doesn't pan out.
yeah. Well, speaking of this fight, there was some aftermath that happened, and I'm gonna play a quick clip of that. This was from after the big fight on Friday, and it's not working. We're gonna have to get the IT team on this. Video is not playing, but we'll get back to that another time. Uh, but basically, after the fight, even though he lost, Mike Tyson went ahead and challenged Logan Paul, the CEO of Prime and Jake Paul's brother. Um, and Logan basically responded kind of aggressive and said, like, I would kill you if we fought.
Hmm. Yeah. Who would you have in a fight? I think I would have Logan. I mean, he's already proven himself in the WWE. Um, we've seen all of his moves. So, and he obviously knows all the secrets behind Prime and proper hydration. So, I don't see it going any differently than the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
Hmm. Um, yeah, I think Logan kind of responded appropriately, but also like I think that this still would be a good fight, and I think would definitely fit in at WrestleMania or something like that. Could you imagine seeing those two? You know, these guys are both former WWE fighters. Why does it need to be a boxing fight? Let's put them in a
Mm-hmm.
WWE match. And I think that, you know, Tyson might not be the best boxer anymore, but we've seen him in WWE. He took out Shawn Michaels, who in one
Mm-hmm.
single punch is one of the greatest superstars in the WWE of all time. Uh, and yeah, I think that would be a great fight. Um, so Reggie, I'm not sure. I have not seen this tweet that you're referencing. Have you seen that?
No, I didn't see Conor McGregor's tweet. I did see stuff saying that Jake Paul should fight Conor McGregor next. Maybe they could do a tag team, Jake and Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson and Conor McGregor at WrestleMania. I think that would
Mm,
sell a lot of tickets. That would be exciting. And we haven't seen McGregor in the WWE as far as I'm aware, but I think he would make a great WWE superstar.
yeah, I know that McGregor has kind of been uh talking crap about WWE because that's kind of what this guy does best is talk crap about people. But I know him and Brock Lesnar almost got in a fight because Brock Lesnar was saying like, "Hey, you shouldn't be talking shit about WWE because I'm in
Mm-hmm.
WWE and I would destroy you." So yeah,
Yeah, well, that's what McGregor does. As you were saying, he talks a lot of shit, but the more he talks about something, the more people want to check it out. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts talking some crap about the WWE, and then at some point ends up in a match. Um, Especially once it moves to Netflix. That dude's all about money and fame, and we know that once WWE moves to Netflix, he can get on there and say whatever he wants. And I'm sure he's gonna love that. So. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if we see McGregor in the WWE soon.
I agree. Well, so another thing about this fight on Netflix is that people were saying it was, the Netflix stream was kind of buggy, and some of our analysts were reporting that people were upset about this. I personally didn't notice anything that bad, but I only saw the main event. I didn't really watch any of the stuff leading up to it. But this makes me kind of worried because Netflix is soon to be the new home of WWE, and I would hate to have like, Roman Reigns about to enter and then it lags.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm glad they're getting this figured out now, as opposed to when the WWE moves to Netflix. But yeah, that's a very good point. Because similar to this boxing match, it's going to be like a live show. They're going to be streaming it, and there's going to be a lot of people watching. So, um, and as we've seen in the WWE, sometimes there's you know, third parties, hackers, or other things that are trying to disrupt the stream. So I'm just hoping Netflix gets their own stuff under control um, before they launch the WWE, because that's a lot every week, Monday and Friday. So let's hope
yeah,
that they.
I mean, uh, I don't know. I'm kind of worried about it, but also, I mean, I'm kind of excited too. Uh, Triple H was apparently at the Travis Scott concert this weekend and went up on stage and announced that Travis Scott is the new. He basically brought back the WWE Hardcore Championship and
Mhm.
announced that Travis Scott is the new WWE Hardcore Champion and that he'll be competing in January for the premiere on Netflix, which is going to be pretty insane. Who do you think Travis Scott is going to fight first? Who do you think is going to, challenge him for that title?
That's a great question. Um, I don't know if they'll have him fight another rapper or if they'll have him fight a celebrity or another WWE fighter for the hardcore championship. Maybe it'll be John Cena. We're still kind of waiting to see who John Cena is going to come back and fight. And I would love to see a John Cena versus Travis Scott match. I think a lot of the fans would. I do know
Mm,
Travis Scott is on the skinnier side. He's not the thickest of guys. So I'm trying to think of who in the WWE would be good to face someone like that. And I'm not sure. Maybe Kofi. Um,
mm,
maybe like um, Ilya Dragunov, is another option, just to give Travis Scott like an easier first match to get him familiar
yeah.
with, to get his bearings down and everything. I know Ilya's been out of the game for a little while, and we do wish him well, but at the same time, that's a guy that when you throw him in the ring with anyone, you're kind of giving the other guy a bit of an easy match.
Mm. I like this comment by uh, Lil M. Deering um, that I Show Speed should fight Travis Scott. I think that would be a pretty good match. I'm a little bit worried because I Show Speed is so young, but he's also a freak athlete.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be a good match. Another guy who I was thinking um, might want to challenge Travis Scott is I know he's retired now, but Mick Foley, because I know he was a little mad that Travis Scott stole his Cactus Jack name.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think that would be an interesting fight. Um, Mick Foley's like a WWE legend going up against a guy who's never wrestled before, but the age difference might make a difference. I know as long as, they should maybe prevent Mick Foley from drinking Prime or something like that to make it more
Mm-hmm.
even, but uh, I think that would be a good match as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder if they would have him fight someone like Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's a WWE legend. He's more of an announcer now in the WWE, but we've seen him come in time to time and kind of show off. So I know they're both rappers. I don't know if they have any beef, but that would be a good rapper versus rapper match, and it would give Snoop Dogg a chance to win the hardcore belt, which I think would be very fitting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're gonna go like music artist versus music artist, maybe Bad Bunny could be in there as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably a little more experienced than Travis Scott, but Travis Scott, he as Big AJ would say, he brings the boom at his concerts. There's a lot of energy, and I think that could be a interesting matchup as well. Maybe we could even get a triple threat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a good point. I know people definitely go hard at Travis Scott concerts, and I've heard that the mosh pit sometimes can resemble a WWE ring at times. So, um, I think Travis is at least very familiar with that type of environment, and I think he'll do well as the hardcore champion.
Hmm. And chat, we would love. I know a lot of you guys aren't really familiar with Travis Scott, um, but we would love to hear what you guys think who he should challenge in the WWE. Loving the recommendations so far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Anyways, did you see um basically the setup to the women's War Games match yesterday.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Yeah, because I thought they announced that Rhea Ripley was going to be out for a while, and then out of nowhere she showed up with that mask. That was
Hmm.
pretty sick. Um, that got me fired up. I'm glad they're finally doing some cool women stuff because we talked about it for a while how the women's division just wasn't strong enough. Like one group on Raw, one group on SmackDown. So I'm glad they're bringing everyone together. I'm excited to see, Tiffy Time and Liv Morgan on the same team in the ring. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I was surprised that Liv Morgan was suddenly okay with Nia Jax and Tiffy Time after all that, trash talk they were giving each other a couple weeks. But I guess, when you have a big money match like Crown Jewel, you kind of have to play up the hatred against each other to sell tickets. I guess you can kind of compare it to what Jake Paul and Mike Tyson did to each other. Like, I don't think those guys actually hated each other. They were just trying to sell as many tickets as they could. So, but
Yeah.
I don't know. You know how, Liv Morgan's very protective of Dirty Dom, and Tiffy Time was saying that she was gonna try to steal him from her, and I'm kind of surprised that she's just okay with her all of a sudden. But sometimes you have to put those differences aside if you want to stay dominant. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I definitely could see some sort of internal conflict on that team there, especially when they're going against another really dominant team.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think the problem is that Liv doesn't have a ton of female allies in the WWE right now. But for War Games, you kind of need to team up with other women. Wow, we've got a lot of comments with a lot of suggested fights. Um, are there any that are sticking out to you?
Oh, I'm loving all these. I mean, I think these are all great. Um, Logan Paul versus Bautista, that would be a banger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we got Travis Scott versus Kai Cenat. I think that would also be, a certified banger. We got Jack Paul. I think he meant Jake Paul. Jake Paul versus Dwayne The Rock Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
aka Final Boss. That would definitely be an interesting match. Um, we got Kai Cenat versus Rey Mysterio. That would be, another banger. I love this one. Patrick Mahomes versus Travis Scott. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
because Mahomes has already been in the WWE, helping Logan Paul. So maybe we could get like a tag team like Logan Paul and Patrick Mahomes versus Travis Scott and
George Kittle.
I should yeah George Kittle. Oh, that would be a good match. That's a WrestleMania main event right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback in the NFL. I'm not a big fan of him, but you have to give him credit for being very talented. I will say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I did see a TikTok the other day of Batista saying that he misses the WWE, and sometimes he like
Mm.
hears his entrance music and it gets him all fired up. So it would be cool to see him make a return. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. You might know him better from his State Farm commercials. He's pretty famous for his
Mm.
commercials for State Farm, the insurance company. Um, FaZe Rug and Jack Doherty. That might be like I don't know. That would probably be like the bathroom break match. But
Mm.
it'd be cool to see those guys fight. I guess
It would bring a lot of new fans to the WWE who haven't
that's
watched it.
true. That's true.
Um, and I know that FaZe Rug used to be boys with Dirty Dom. They did a
Mm.
video together, but that was before Dirty Dom has changed a lot since those days. So I don't know if they would still get along.
Hmm.
But so apparently Hendrix says that State Farm isn't big in Germany. That's interesting. I'm wondering is UGOAS headphones a big deal in Germany, like it is here in the U.S. Wondering if he's heard of them.
They definitely are a national company because I don't think we got them from an American dealer, but UGO8S headphones.
Yeah. I'm also wondering if Prime is very big in Germany. Prime hydration.
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting to hear as well. Um, anyways, I'm actually kind of excited for the women's War Games match. I was like, oh, finally we're gonna get a War Games match that's not damage control. And then Io
Mm-hmm.
Sky showed up, but that's fine. It's only one out of the 8 people. I'm fine with that. So I think it'll still be a good show. Excited about it. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I actually don't hate EO Sky. It's just, watching that same damage control match every week. And I'm thrilled that there's no, what's their name? Pure Fusion Collective, whatever those
yeah,
that garbage group is. I haven't seen them for a little while, and I'm not mad about that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think EO Sky is a fine addition. That's going to be a banger. But yeah, I was also surprised with how all the teams worked out because we got like Nia Jax and Liv Morgan and Diffie Time all on the team. So there's definitely going to be some beef there on the teams. And then, yeah, Rhea Ripley's going to be wreaking havoc that whole match. I want to see Rhea versus Nia Jax. I don't know if they've ever squared off one-on-one that I can remember, but
they did almost a year ago now at Elimination Chamber, and
mm,
I believe Rhea Ripley won, but it was a very close match. It definitely could
yeah.
be another big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so we have an update that UGO08S apparently, I'm surprised they're not that popular in Germany, but Prime is big in Germany, but not really. People don't give a fuck about them,
Mm,
about Prime.
interesting.
Um, so sorry about that word, but um, yeah, I'm wondering like what do they drink in Germany if they don't drink Prime?
That's a good question. I know the Germans like their Oktoberfest and their beer.
Hmm.
It's interesting because I know we have the red, white, and blue Prime over here. So I wonder if Germany has the what colors are they? Red, black, and yellow.
Yeah,
Let me look up German. What primes does
shout
Germany?
out to our viewers, Stink Nasty. Thanks for the comment. Um, yeah, so anyways, back to war games. It seems like even though he was not interested at all at first, the OG bloodline is still trying to recruit Seth freaking Rollins, even though he's not interested at all. Um, and it seems like they kind of just forgot about recruiting Braun Breaker. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
happened there.
I
Uh,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how you forget about Braun Breaker, but now he's got beef with Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser, which, I mean, bit of a downgrade, I guess. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, that's a guy you want on your team no matter what. Um, oh,
Yeah.
I looked up Prime in Germany, and they've got some cool ones. A lot of soccer, I guess, football themed Prime. They've got one for FC Barcelona and Bayern Munich, and then a few soccer players as well. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure those are pretty rare. If I were you, Hendrik, I would stock up on some of those primes because those are going to be worth a lot of money someday.
Hmm. I have my own collection. If you go back and watch our previous episodes, you'll see a lot of the primes in my collection.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But yeah, I don't know why the Bloodline just gave up on recruiting Braun Breaker without really any justification. Because Braun Breaker seemed interested. I don't know. They must have had a talk off camera or something. Because the love him or hate him, the old Bloodline was there to support their new member, uh, Big Bronson Reed during his match. I
Mm-hmm.
was surprised that the OG Bloodline didn't show up to help Braun Breaker during his match against Sheamus. Like he didn't really need the help, but uh if you're trying to recruit the guy, you got to go out there and show your support. You can't just, they were at the stadium. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem with the old bloodline a little bit nowadays. The new bloodline, they're not afraid to recruit whoever to, show up for whoever's matches and get involved. And I think that, the new bloodline or the old bloodline finally did it Monday night, um, at like the very end. But there's been a while where it's just kind of been Roman and Jimmy and now Jay a little bit, but they're not as willing to like get involved in everyone else's matches, and that's kind of how the WWE is nowadays. And that's how you become successful, is you just disrupt and show up whenever you want because there's no management there. So
Yeah.
I think they're figuring it out, and it seems like they're gonna get Seth Rollins on their side, which is a big addition, but he's still no Braun Breaker.
I don't know though. I don't think they're actually gonna get Seth Rollins because he's not. He hates Roman Reigns more than anyone else. He hates Roman Reigns more than he hates Bronson Reed.
Mm. Well, yeah, I mean, I think the beef right now is Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. So we'll see if Seth is big enough to, put his beef with Roman aside. But yeah, that is a pretty massive beef. So I think either Seth Rollins is going to be recruited by the old bloodline, or he's going to, show up and try to take out Bronson Reed if he doesn't want to team up with Roman. But it's a tough spot to put him in. And maybe it's a way for what was their group called when they had Dean Ambrose?
They were called the Shield.
Yeah, maybe this is a way for the Shield to kind of come back together if that's ever possible, because that would be pretty sweet. But that would take a lot of forgiving by both Roman and Seth. So
Yeah. All right. Well, I have some videos to react to. So let me. This is kind of an interesting. This kind of goes along with what we were discussing earlier, but I'll go ahead and bring this one up first. I guess there's no audio with this one, but uh, what do you think about these potential matchups?
which YouTubers should face Roman Reigns next? We got Jake Paul, KSI, Mr. Beast, and PewDiePie. That's a good question. I mean, I think the closest fight would probably be Jake Paul versus Roman, but as we've talked about, I think Jake has interests elsewhere, and I think it'd be cool to see him and his brother do like a tag team match. We have seen KSI briefly in the WWE dressed as a Prime bottle, and he is a former boxer. So it would be cool to see him.
Yeah, but I mean,
Roman.
every time he's been in the WWE, he gets destroyed like pretty
Yeah,
easily.
I was
Like
gonna
at least
say,
like
I think that would be a very close match.
no, like Jake Paul maybe because he took on both the Usos by himself and like put up a pretty good fight against these guys. What are you thinking about Mr. Beast though? Do you think he has a chance?
Um, it depends. I think it depends on the rules of the fight, because I think Mr. Beast always has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. I think if it was just a straight match, I would probably give it to Roman, but I think it really depends on how creative Mr. Beast can get out there. Um, but one Superman punch from Roman, and we might never see Mr. Beast again.
Yeah, I'm thinking kind of the same thing with PewDiePie. I don't know. I don't even know if he still does YouTube or anything anymore, but I don't think he really has any fighting experience. But he probably has some good hand-eye coordination with all the video games he plays. So,
Hmm.
maybe he could figure something out to beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I think PewDiePie's a dad now, and I don't know if he still makes content, but I have heard that when you're a dad, you get like super dad strength. So maybe he's bulked up since we've last seen him.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought that would be something interesting to cover, but let's get into the rest of our media um, this week. And it's not going to work. Why aren't the videos working today?
Do you want to share it with me and I'll try it?
I have them downloaded though. It's not like a link.
Oh,
Well, that sucks. I think it's because I'm streaming to TikTok on the same computer. It's probably just
mm,
slow. Let me just try it one more time. We'll get this figured out. I don't know. Let me try to play one more video and see if that works. If not, we just won't do videos this week. No, not working.
trying to see if there's any
Dang,
like video.
sorry about that, guys.
Could you just like text those to me? Do you have them? It's fine
Yeah.
if not.
I just have them downloaded. I don't have like the link saved.
Mm.
Let me try. I can't just like leave and rejoin because I'm streaming on here. Uh,
Can you join again in a new tab? Are you on your phone or your computer?
on my computer. Let me try just joining on a new tab. It's gonna go to. It's yeah, okay. Let me just blank out. Wait, 1 second. We're learning how to use TikTok here. I don't think anyone's watching right now on TikTok anyway. Oh, yeah, there are people watching, but 1 second. Blank this out. Okay. 1 second, guys. We're dealing with some issues here. All right, we're back, guys. Uh, let's try to present.
AEW Dynamite, it's time to bring the boom. That's right. Big Boom AJ will be at AEW Dynamite this Wednesday night from Reading, Pennsylvania. And I'm bringing the Costco verse with me. You see, I've read all the comments about Tony Khan. Tony Khan, you made a mistake bringing Big Boom AJ to AEW. Tony Khan, I'm going to prove to you, you made the right choice. And I'm going to make AEW and all the fans of AEW proud. The only one here that made a mistake is QT Marshall. And I'm going to prove that to QT Marshall next Saturday night at Ground Zero, right before the Full Gear pay-per-view, when I power boom QT Marshall right through the middle of the ring and bring the boom. Costcoverse, I'm going to need you. So the Costcoverse is going to be right there behind me. Costcoverse is going to be right there behind me this Wednesday night at AEW Dynamite. And then Saturday night at Ground Zero, just before the Full Gear pay-per-view. So AEW, Big Boom AJ, and the whole Costcoverse, that's right, all of you, we're coming to bring the boom.
Wow.
Yeah. See, I think Big AJ's got what it takes. That got me fired up. And, we've seen brief clips of him in the ring, and he's got it in the ring as well. So I think that dude's a superstar in the making. Shout out AEW for bringing him on. We wished it was the WWE, but we watched some AEW a couple months ago, and they have some good matches there. So that might be the new show to watch, WWE and AEW.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really excited. I was excited. I thought it was just going to be the one match on Saturday, but it sounds like he's going to be live on AEW tomorrow night, which is pretty exciting. Me and all the other Chokeslam radio analysts are going to be tuned in, watching this thing, see what AJ has to bring, and I'm guessing he's going to bring the boom. And another thing that I'm interested in was he said he's bringing the whole Costco verse with him. And we have a friend in the Costco verse, Hoopify. I've reached out to him on a comment on this, and we'll be updating you. Once the news comes in live, we'll be ready to update you with the inside news on this big match. Yeah.
From a medical standpoint, dude will probably get skin cancer at some point. His arms look like he was out a bit too long in the sun without proper skin protection. Well, I don't know about that. He is a wrestler, so he does have his shirt off a lot. But, he actually spends a lot of time inside of Costco. And I do know that Costco has a lot of sunblock, and you're also not exposed to the sun. And he eats a lot of chicken bakes and double chunk.
AEW Dynamite.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm messing around with the settings here. Anyways, so they're going up against, or he's going up against this guy, QT Marshall, who we were talking about. We were saying, like, oh, why doesn't he go against somebody with more credibility? That would be a better matchup, someone like Bobby Lashley or Ricochet or somebody like that. And I was able to find some info on this guy, QT Marshall, because I didn't really know much about him, and I found apparently he put out a diss track on Big AJ.
Interesting.
So I was gonna play that video if I can find it. It looks like the videos are working now, but here we go.
And that's who I am. I bring the doom, and I will give you a slam. I bring the doom. I doom all over the place. I bring the doom, and I will mess up your face. Every single match, it's your boy QT, and I'm dropping the doom on your entire family. I drop the doom so hard, your ass I will be kicking. I'll crush your stupid chocolate cookie, then I'll bake you like a chicken. I have abs, white teeth, and even if he tried, AJ will get destroyed and justice denied. I bring the moves and style when I enter the ring, and I hurt you till that bell goes ding, ding, ding. I bring the doom, and that's who I am. I bring the doom, and I will give you a slam. I bring the doom, I doom all over the place. I bring the doom, and I will mess up your face. Anyone who wrestles me, I'll show them no mercy. I'll make them scream and cry, then I'll head back to New Jersey. I never shop in bulk, it doesn't give me a thrill. And I don't buy paper towels because I never spill. I am strong like a bull and smooth like peanut butter, but I'll drop every Costco guy with my diamond cutter. I work out every day, my life's not in a spiral. I've never made a TikTok because I'm already viral. I bring the doom, and that's who I am. I bring the doom, and I will give you a slam. I bring the doom, I doom all over the place. I bring the doom, and I will mess up your face. I bring the doom. AJ, I'm more of a BJ's guy anyway. And at Full Gear, I'm gonna embarrass you in front of your entire family, your friends, and the entire state.
Wow, oh my gosh. It seems like we definitely underestimated who this guy is.
QT Marshall. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little nervous that he's gonna doom all over Big AJ and the rest of the Costco guys. Um, that's not something I want to see. I'm rooting for Big AJ, and I'm hoping that because Big AJ's got the whole Costco verse behind him instead of QT Marshall's just got himself. He might be a bit overwhelmed, but QT Marshall did say he likes BJ's and he's gonna do them all over Big AJ's face. So we'll see. We'll see how the fight goes.
I know. I mean, that was pretty crazy. I'm a little bit kind of worried for him and Big Justice at this point. But I'm hoping that, I think they're gonna bring out. It's gonna be a lot more than just those two guys. The thing about them is they're about family. They're kind of
Mhm.
like the bloodline, family above all. So they're gonna come out there. I mean, the Rizzler is probably gonna be there. Um, Hoopify is probably gonna be there. Um, they got the mother of Big Justice and Ashley, and I don't know who else, but I think there's like that one guy who Jersey Joe, I think
Jersey
might be
Joe.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Hmm.
think who do you guys in the comments who do you think is gonna win this fight? Um, DRW 15. Who are you gonna who do you got for this match?
I gotta go with Big AJ. Um, I would have taken him anyways, but that song did make me a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know that QT Marshall had that in him. But Big AJ still got the whole. He's got the Rizzler and Big Justice behind him. Um, I would have been even more nervous if QT Marshall brought out a Prime, but he just brought out Peanut Butter. So I think I
Mm,
think my bet on Big Justice and Big AJ is staying.
yeah, I agree. I mean, Cutie Marshall. I mean, I hope he doesn't doom all over the place, but I think my 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 pick is for the Costco guys and for Big AJ. I think it's gonna be an easy win, honestly. But
Hmm.
this Cutie Marshall guy is definitely. I hadn't heard of him, and I'm kind of a little bit worried after seeing that video. You know, he could have something up his sleeve here. Uh, but yeah,
Hmm.
and I want to give a shout out to my boy Hendrik from Germany. He's got to head out to walk the dog, but um, we currently don't have a Chokeslam Radio Discord, but I'll talk to the IT department and see if they can put one together. But for now, make sure you subscribe. We're going to be streaming weekly every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know what the hell that time is in Germany, but if you're watching now, just watch at the same time every
Hmm.
Tuesday. Um, and not next Tuesday though, because I'm not gonna be
Oh,
here.
you're
But
gonna be in France, which is close to Hendrick. Maybe you guys can meet up.
yeah, Hendrik, if you want to meet up in France next week, let me know. We can hang out and talk some wrestling. Um, but yeah, also check out our podcast on any podcasting app as well if you want to hear us but not see us. And Steven says his wife's boyfriend wears sunglasses inside too. So shout out to that guy. Hope your wife and your relationship is going well with your wife. But yeah, don't know what that means. I don't know what that means either. uh, yeah, I subscribe for me. It's Wednesday, 4 a.m. Hell yeah, this guy has his priorities straight. First thing in the
Hmm.
morning, waking up 4 a.m. Watch Chokeslam Radio. I mean, what a great freaking way to start the day. Wow.
That gets me fired up.
Yeah, me too. Depends on where in France. That's possible. I don't live far away from the border. All right, well, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually gonna happen, but maybe. Okay, you understand.
Well,
Um,
Scott's asking. I
I
think
don't
he
know.
means why cool sunglasses. I think he misspelled cool. He's asking why we wear cool sunglasses. Yeah, he did it again.
Yeah,
um,
I
you
think
know.
you gotta fix your keyboard, buddy.
hmm Um, but yeah, we wear cool sunglasses every week. Plus God Seder. So we do it. We do it for you guys, and we do it to look cool. Um, and that's you know.
All right.
Thank you.
Um, let's see what we got next. So, we have a lot of great analysts here on Chokeslam Radio. We introduced um Double Sweet last week. Unfortunately, we don't have a video from him this
Mm.
week. He's been really busy, but he has still been watching. But that doesn't mean that we're not gonna react to some of the other WWE analysts on the internet because there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Yep.
So I wanted to hear this guy's opinions on the Judgment Day.
इस मैच में डेमियन क्रिस्ट और फिन बलर का टैग टीम मैच होता है मिस और आर्टरूथ के साथ। यहाँ पर आर्टरूथ जो है कॉमेडी करते हुए डेमियन क्रिस्ट और फिन बलर के साथ में एंट्री कर लेते हैं और रिंग में जाकर उनके साथ खड़े हो जाते हैं।
Yeah, I couldn't really tell what he was saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he makes a lot of great points there. It's frustrating because I think Samantha Irvin was trying to, overshadow this guy. But I do agree that the Judgment Day is exciting to watch. And if I was from India, they would be my favorite group as well, I think.
Yeah, and it kind of makes me sad to see this, knowing how great the Judgment Day used to be not that long ago. And it's crazy, this is why you gotta, if you have a good, a group of friends or something like that, you can't take your friends for granted because, you could have like this elite group like the Judgment Day and then it all falls apart. And it kind of happens a lot in WWE. I mean, look at
Mhm.
Giovanni Vinci. He used to be part of the Imperium with Gunther, and then he tried to become a knockoff Andrew Tate, and we haven't heard of him for a couple months now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think he makes an excellent point there. I couldn't have said it better myself. Hold your friends close and your enemies closer, because we saw Liv Morgan take over Judgment Day when Rhea Ripley was gone, and then it's all kind of gone to shit since then.
Mm-hmm.
Liv Morgan got what she wanted. She took down Judgment Day and she got Dirty Dom to herself. So I love Liv Morgan, but it's sad to see what's come of the Judgment Day.
Yeah. So we have another update on a WWE wrestler by a fan who ran into him. So let's go ahead and play the clip.
Hello, Shavers.
What's up? How you doing?
Very who you know? Where you the good, bro? Trust.
I think I heard him say you're the GOAT. Maybe. I mean, I would be lost for words too if I met Sheamus. So I can't really fault this guy. And of course, I can't really tell what Sheamus is carrying there. Batteries?
I think it's Guinness.
Oh, Guinness. You're right. Yep. That makes total sense. I'm not surprised there. This all makes a lot of sense. I don't know where Sheamus is going, but I want to go wherever he's going. It would be pretty sick to drink Guinness with the Celtic Warrior.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him on the show with Pat McAfee. We know that he knows how to turn up and have a good time. Um, but this also could be why he didn't have such a great performance against Braun Breaker last night. If this is what he was doing the night before, I don't know when this video was taken, but you know, this isn't, the diet you would expect of an elite athlete. But whatever
Mhm.
works for him.
Yeah, well, we saw when he came back into the WWE, people thought he looked a little bit bigger, and now he's kind of gotten back into wrestling shape. So I don't know if the Guinness was part of his routine when he was a fighter originally, or if he's just getting into it now. But each guy's got their own thing. Um, but yeah, if one guy's drinking Guinness and he's going against someone drinking Prime, I know who I'm betting on every time.
Yep, exactly. So I kind of been saving these videos for the end because I didn't really want to get into them, but let's our best friend here on Chokeslam Radio always has something to say every week. So let's hear what he's got to say this time.
Don't ever concern yourself with the people talking behind your back. You're already ahead of them. Keep moving.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like something that he would say. That doesn't surprise me one bit. He
I
thinks he
mean,
thinks he thinks he's so good and better than everyone else, and so he just doesn't. He can't take criticism for anyone, and it's sad to see, because WWE could be so much better if he was willing to admit that he doesn't run a perfect show every week, but he can't do it.
yeah, and I don't know why he thinks people are talking shit behind his back. We're talking shit to your face, bro. Like, you need to get it together. No one's talking behind your back. Like, everyone's talking to you. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah. He sees our clips and our videos every week. Like we're not hiding. No one's hiding anything. We're not trying to be secretive about talking shit. We're saying, Adam Pierce, you suck, and you can do better. So I don't know what else to tell this dude at this point.
I think he should just come on the show instead of making all these videos about us every week.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of getting annoying, but
Yeah.
all right. Unfortunately, there's another one.
If you work hard every day, and you treat people fairly every day, and you do those two things often enough for long enough, you earn respect. Give it a try.
Yeah, I don't know why he's talking like he's like this philosopher. He's got all these deep thoughts. He just says stuff, and I don't know who he thinks he has the respect from, but I can tell you it's not anyone in the WWE universe. It's none of the fighters or the fans. So he's a little bit confused. Maybe he should take his own advice and treat people fairly and actually schedule matches for fighters that allow them to show off their abilities. But he doesn't, and he talks about how earning respect from others, but he doesn't have any from anyone, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what our viewers are talking about, but yeah, we don't want to discuss that. But I mean, yeah, like I said, he's gotta take his own advice. I mean, like, you don't treat people fairly and you don't work hard, and that's why no one respects you. So he needs to start, watching these videos that he's making. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Look in the mirror, Adam Pierce. Like, he's making all these videos. He thinks he's inspiring other people. Like, watch your own video and maybe try to learn something from it. But
Yeah.
he's too far.
So apparently if he spent as much time, if he spent has as much time actually planning his shows that he does on Instagram, Monday Night Raw would be a lot different. But unfortunately, he has another video
Oh my God.
that he made
Well,
recently.
hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hey, real quick, if you go on social media and say some dumb to me and get blocked for it, and it happens every day, you can't come back later and say, I was only saying that to you in kayfabe. One, if you're using that word, it doesn't exist. And two, even if it did, you have not earned the right. And if that makes you mad, good. Have a great weekend.
God, what a turd. Honestly. Like, he's out here blocking fans because they're not like they're upset with his SHITTY shows. Like, he's on social media and you run a show that millions of people watch every week. If people are like, hey, Raw kind of sucked, and instead of listening to them, you're gonna block them. Like, what a joke.
Yeah, I know. Like for example, The Rock has a lot of people that criticize him and make fun of him, but he's not going online and crying about it and blocking everybody. Like
Yeah.
it's just people online, and maybe you should take their advice instead of being a little B word about it. Yeah, so unfortunately there's another video.
Oh my God.
Lord knows I don't have all the answers, and I things up constantly. But the one thing that I cognitively process every day in my life is how am I going to be better today than I was yesterday? Right? And defining that all depends on what yesterday looked like. And don't be discouraged if you don't live up to your own expectation. Be discouraged if you're not setting the expectation, right? So that takes mindset, that takes deliberate thought every single day. What am I going to do today to be better than I was yesterday? And if you do that every day, then there are no bad days.
Oh, what a clown this guy is. He's talking
I had a
about
bad day last time I watched this show.
exactly. Well, I think the thing is he just only looks at the previous day and he's like, how can I be better? Why don't you look at last week's Monday Night Raw and what a shit show that was, and then try to make next week's show better instead of being like, oh, my Sunday was a boring day because I just sat around and watched football, so let's make Monday better. And then he doesn't do anything. And he says in that video, he was like, don't be disappointed if you don't meet your expectations. Well, you should be a little disappointed if you don't meet your expectations. You know, that's the whole point of setting expectations, is so that you meet them and become better. So that's exactly something that someone like him would say, to keep setting expectations and not meeting them, and then being like, oh, well, it's all right because I set them. You know, what a fool.
I actually did kind of like this one a little bit better. It's kind of like he's starting to take our advice a little bit, saying like, you know, he makes a lot of mistakes. At least he can admit it in this video, which is kind of nice. And I mean, he's right. If he does do a little bit better than the last day, then I mean, that's not saying much for a guy like him, but still, that's a good thing. But you know, we're just not seeing it. You know?
Yeah.
It's, if anything, it's getting worse every day. So I don't know. I mean, it's good advice that he's giving. He's just not following it.
Exactly. At least he admitted in that one that he's not perfect and that he's failed. We're talking about fighting kangaroos.
Yeah. So we have one of our viewers, Meat Sweat, is saying that there are 48 million kangaroos in Australia and 3 million people in Uruguay. So if all the kangaroos came to Uruguay, every person would have to fight 16. I think that would be a pretty much a takeover. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know how they're getting 48 million kangaroos to Uruguay, but I guess if they all somehow made it to Uruguay. I'm taking the kangaroos for sure. I was in Australia and I saw those kangaroos, and they got some thick tails and some thick feet. You know,
Yeah.
I could probably take a couple, but 16, I don't think I could take 16. And I'm pretty athletic and strong, but if you're counting like everyone in Uruguay, that you're counting like kids and old people too, who probably can't even take one. So that leaves closer to like 20 to 30 kangaroos for us athletes.
Yeah, but the thing is, kangaroos don't know how to use an AR-15.
That's true.
Like humans, we might not be able to take every animal in a fight. Like I don't think I could fight a grizzly bear, but if I had a rocket launcher, I could definitely destroy a grizzly bear. So I think I think if you took the top 10 most dangerous animals in the world and put me against all of them at once, if I have weapons, if I have technology, I'm gonna come out on top. Humans are number one in the food chain for a reason. I'm not scared of a bunch of damn kangaroos.
Yeah. I mean, all you need is get up in a helicopter or a plane. Those kangaroos aren't touching you. So you only need like 2 guys to kill all those kangaroos.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like in WWE in a Extreme Rules match. Like, I don't know, it depends on the rules. If I'm going against a kangaroo with no weapons allowed, I still think I could beat one.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that their like legs have like claws and stuff, and they can just scratch you. So I don't know about that. I think I could. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd be able to beat a kangaroo in a fight. Like maybe I could make it run away from me, but if it's like in a ring, I don't know about that. Like a kangaroo jack situation.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think I could probably take one. If it was more than that and they were like smart about their attack, that would be pretty difficult. But yeah, there's a reason that humans are on top of the food chain. It's not because we're the biggest or the strongest. It's because we've developed technology and ways to survive and dominate. So kangaroo comes at me, I'm not using my bare hands unless I absolutely have to.
Exactly. Yeah, well, there's one more thing about WWE. Sorry to change the super interesting topic, but there are these guys in WWE I really liked named the Viking Raiders. And now all of a sudden the Viking Raiders are back and they're called the War Raiders and they're not Vikings anymore. Like, are they gonna at least explain? I mean, it's stupid. Like, why? I don't want to watch any of their matches anymore now that they're not Vikings. Like, it's kind of like if Jack Sparrow decided to not be a pirate anymore and called himself War Sparrow. He's just like a normal guy. Like, no what? What if Buzz Lightyear decided he didn't want to be an astronaut anymore and just became War Lightyear and was just literally like a normal dude? Like, what happened?
I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Yeah, because like once a Viking, always a Viking. I don't know what they did to like get stripped of the Viking name, and then they just threw in war because they didn't know what to do. But like, I can't imagine it was like a Redskin situation where they got canceled. I know cancel culture is crazy nowadays, but Vikings are Vikings. And they were Vikings.
Yeah, it's not like they were pretending to be Vikings. Like
No,
they're literally Vikings.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and they also always had that Valhalla chick with them, and I know Michael Cole kind of had a thing for her, but I don't really know what happened with that. They kind of just like something must have happened with her because she was kind of like their leader, and then whenever they won, they would like all get in the ring and like scream, and it was awesome and it was really cool. And I don't know, it kind of I know people are claiming Triple H is racist. I hope it's not Triple H that made him not be Vikings and not represent their culture anymore, because that would be
Mhm.
disappointing.
Well, maybe they're just not the Vikings without the Valhalla girl, and maybe she's on like a mission right now, and when she comes back, they'll be the Vikings again. I hope that's what happens. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, and yeah, it's pretty lame because like the Vikings were they were a cool group, and like there was no reason to remove that title from them. And I hope that girl comes back too, because she was pretty sick.
Hmm. Yeah, there's kind of like a lack of interesting women in like the women's division, so I
Mm-hmm.
hope she comes back and does something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know. But anyways, maybe I have no idea. She's probably maybe got defeated in a battle or something, and then
Mm.
I don't know what like Vikings do in 2024. Maybe we'll have to have a Viking on the podcast to ask him about it.
Mm-hmm. We'll have one of our analysts do some research and either find us some
Mm,
videos or find us a Viking and we can ask them.
yeah. Um. Also, I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on the Wyatt Six? And I'm kind of starting to wonder if I don't know, the Wyatt Six are just kind of like a weird group. They're not as scary anymore. Like if the Miz and Karrion Cross can defeat them, it kind of shows you that like they kind of just lost all their credibility after
Yeah,
that.
a little bit. It's a bit embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. Like they were doing all this crazy stuff, and I was really hyped for them, and now they're like fighting the Miz and Karrion Cross and losing. So, um, I mean, I hope they can turn it around because I think they had a lot of potential. But yeah, they found themselves in um, kind of a weird a weird spot in the WWE.
DRW 15. How many 10-year-olds do you think you could beat up?
Could I beat up? Depends. If it's like a WWE match, if it was the Royal Rumble, I think if I was the first one, I could win the Royal Rumble for sure, even if they were all coming after me. Um,
Hmm.
if it was like all at once, probably like 25, I think is a good number, 25 to 30. Um, I I don't think weapons should be allowed because then I could take like an unlimited amount. Um, but just if it's like a normal match, I think probably
Hmm.
around 30 10-year-olds.
Yeah, the only thing that, like, maybe if it was like from our generation when we were a 10, but these 10-year-olds nowadays, they're kind of a different breed. Like, you know, we were talking earlier, how prime hydration is kind of in the picture now, and a lot of these kids are drinking prime. And I think they started putting prime in Lunchables even nowadays. So
Mm-hmm.
these little kids are going to be, in prime fighting condition. So, but the thing is I can drink prime too, so that kind of balances it out. Um, but like I said, no, I don't want to talk about weapons, but if it was without weapons,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I would want to beat up a 10-year-old. They'd have to be doing something mean to me. If it was just some like random 10-year-olds, I wouldn't want to fight them. I
Mm.
would I think I could defend myself against a lot of them. But let's say, okay, in a hypothetical situation, um, somebody in my body with my mindset, but it's not me, if they were fighting a bunch of 10-year-olds, they could probably beat up probably like 242.
Okay.
Yeah.
242. You think the 243rd one would get you?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Like, As long as I have Prime in my or the person that's me has Prime in their system. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, kids nowadays, some of them are like just iPad kids, and I think those ones would be pretty easy to take. But some of them are eating the, what are they called? The Feastables.
Oh yeah.
They're eating Feastables and drinking Prime, and I'm scared of those ones.
Hmm.
So I think it depends on how many of these kids have had Prime and Feastables recently, because that makes a big difference.
How old is the Rizzler? Is he about that age? 10?
I think he's 8.
8? Okay, yeah. So imagine the Rizzler in 2 years, and there's like 10 of them. Do you think you could fight? I don't think I would. I don't. I think they would whoop my ASS, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think I could beat 10 Rizzlers right now.
Yeah, I don't think I
It
could
would-
beat one. You
With
saw
these,
when they made him into a battering ram and like basically took out a bunch of
Mhm.
burglars. I mean, I've never
Yeah,
seen shit like that before.
no. Well, he is the Panther dressed in black too, so
Mhm.
that's not super fair. I don't think
Mhm.
all 8-year-olds or 10-year-olds are like that, but um, yeah, I think we'll see the Rizzler tomorrow night, hopefully, and we'll see what he's really got in him. Maybe they'll use him as a battering ram tomorrow night against QT Marshall.
Yeah, that would be pretty historical stuff in pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Anyway, shout out to our viewers, Meat Sweats, Christy Lamb. I'm not gonna shout out that other guy because I didn't like his comments earlier. But you know what? We love all our viewers. Shout out to this guy, Lust God Saturn. Uh, the Rizzler looks like he owns a pizza restaurant already. Well, I think they do. I think he does. I don't know. Do you guys always wear sunglasses? Yes, because you never know when you're gonna need a pair of sunglasses, so you might as well just wear them.
Yeah, that's very true. I've never been in a
And
situation where I didn't need sunglasses, but I'm always in a situation where I might. You know, there's always
mhm.
potential for the need to wear sunglasses.
I always wear my UGO8S headphones as well,
Mm-hmm.
because you know why not? First of all, they look cool. Second of all, they have better like they have better hearing than my actual ears. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
why would I use my ears if they're not going to be as good? Why wouldn't I just Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the same thing we were talking about with the kangaroos. Like kangaroos don't have UGO8S headphones or sunglasses. So
Mhm.
in a situation like this, we've automatically got the upper hand because we've got the technology that they don't. So it's the same thing in a war.
Mhm. All right, well, I think our viewers are gonna like this. I'm not gonna talk about uh, McDonald's right now, but we have a segment on the show called High Flying Flavors, and it's basically where I review a new food every week and then rank it on my board. Uh, but I don't have the board updated right now, but uh, this is where it was currently. I think it's missing a few things, but right now we have the primes on top, and then we have the little baby wrap chips, and then we got Smart Food, Doritos, popcorn, and then Fanta and the gross sour Powerade. So let's get into this week's high flying flavors. Hello, everybody. It's your boy DJ Big Unknown, and welcome back to a brand new episode of High Flying Flavors. This week, I'm really excited about this one. We previously interviewed not interviewed them, but we tried them. You know, high flying flavors is kind of like if you could interview a taste. That's kind of what we do. We interview a taste.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, on a previous episode, we tried the Smart Food popcorn that's Doritos flavor, and it kind of did not taste very good. So right now, we're gonna see if this we have the Smart Food chocolate cake pop flavored popcorn.
Mm.
And we're gonna try this right now. We're gonna break down every single flavor. Now, before even trying it, I'm gonna say right now, the first thing, my first complaint about this is this costs about over $5 to buy this small freaking bag. So this is gonna be a lot more expensive other uh than other high flying flavors, but it's still a little cheaper than like filet mignon or uh ravioli.
Mm-hmm.
But um, and then for calories, we got 280, so that's the equivalent of 28 primes. So
Wow.
if you're if you're thinking about calories, you could either have this or you could have 28 primes. What would you guys rather have, one bag of this or 28 primes? Let me know. Anyways, I'm going to by the way, I'm not liking the feedback. I just started the segment, so give it a chance before you talk shit. Um, okay. I'm opening the bag and oh my oh my gosh, guys. I'm getting taste of like brown sugar, but like it tastes like creamy, but like without the cream. It tastes like if cream. Oh, oh man, that tastes good.
Creamy without the cream.
It tastes like if they made like a brown sugar flavored prime, like a
Mm.
sugar. Well,
Wow.
and it's got just that amount of crunch that you would want in a popcorn, like not like a burnt toast crunch, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also like not crunchy enough. So if you guys like cream, but like don't, it's like ice cream flavor, but without the cream in it.
Hmm.
So let's bring out the board. And I'm gonna put this above. It's not as good as the Lil Baby wrap chips. It's a little bit. No, Little Baby wrap chips are still a lot better, but this is definitely a lot better than the Doritos Smart Food. So
Mm.
before this episode, I was a little. By the way, guys, I'm not on any drugs right now. I'm completely sober. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I think you guys are the ones. You guys are the ones that are. Just because I'm wearing glasses, I'm doing it because it's cool. Um. Anyways, yeah, recommend this one.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Smart Food. Don't get the Doritos one. That one wasn't that good, but Cake Pop is a lot better.
Okay. Good to know.
All right.
I think you're. It's crazy. Let my
I'm
boy
not wondering.
enjoy his cake popcorn.
No. Anyways, I don't really have anything else to talk about this week.
No. Well, we appreciate all our viewers this week. It's fun when we can interact with the chat and you guys leave us feedback. It's a crazy name. um, but yeah, I mean, we do this show every Tuesday. We talk about all things wrestling and some things not wrestling too. So, if you guys have any suggestions or anything you guys want us to review in the future, let us know. I know Meat Sweats was not a huge fan of the high flying flavors. If you have a better idea of Meat Sweats, leave it in the chat. But that's something that we're proud of on this show, and we're not getting rid of anytime soon. So,
I'm curious, where are our viewers coming from right now? Like, how did you guys find the show? Because you guys seem like an interesting bunch of fellas or ladies. And sorry, it's not my job to come up with segments. You're right. I hate it when the chat tries to run the show. Shout out to Indiana. I'm not going to show Meat Sweat's comment because it's disrespectful.
Well, yeah, we want to be better than Adam Pierce. We've talked about him a lot on the show, and he's someone who can't take constructive criticism. But I think we can learn from him and learn from you guys. So we're trying to be better and make our show better every week. Uruguay, wow. Are you fighting the Kangaroos?
Shout out to New York. Shout out to Uruguay. I think it's pretty cool how Chokeslam Radio has such an international audience. We're kind of bringing the world together to, the world isn't the most peaceful place right now, but at Chokeslam Radio, it's somewhere where we don't get along all the time, but at least we're not beating each other up like on Monday Night Raw.
Exactly.
All right, well, everybody, make sure to subscribe and chokeslam that like button, and also please tell your friends to watch the show. Shout out to Jenna Talia.
Big shout out from Chokeslam Radio to Jenna Talia.
That would be a good wrestler name.
Yeah, it sounded like a wrestler. She sounds like she's in the bloodline.
All right. Anything else to say to our viewers?
No. We are excited for Big AJ to fight tomorrow night, and we hope you guys are as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to play our outro, so don't go yet. But thank you for watching.
Thank you for joining us on this bone-chilling journey through the world of WWE. Join us next time on your favorite podcast app or live Tuesday nights on YouTube, Instagram, and X. As the final bell tolls, remember to stay tuned for more spine-tingling tales from the crypt. Chokeslam that button and subscribe. Check out srotu.org and TRW15 on YouTube, or else. Until next time, may the power of the dead man be with you. Rest in peace.